So finally, after a brutal week of more like sideways action, JASMY is finally showing some signs of strength. I will take you through everything that you need to know right in the immediate short term, as well as our long-term price targets here for JASMY. Of course, with the recent developments in the price, we in the Patreon have decided to open another long position on JASMY, slightly up in profits, only 10%. We expect much better than this. So wish us the best. We all hope that JASMY eventually starts pumping towards the upside. So let's start on a 1 hourly time frame, in which we are seeing JASMY is looking more like a Wyckoff accumulation pattern here. The good thing that we can see with the underlying indicators is that the RSI has successfully made higher lows as it continued to push towards the upside, yet we were seeing that the price over the last few days has really been pushing towards the downside. This is something that we always want to see, because this is bullish divergence, meaning that sooner rather than later the price was eventually going to start pushing towards the upside, and that's what we are now seeing with JASMY. What kind of a push are we expecting immediate short term? I think at least the top of the Wyckoff accumulation range, which is right around something like 2.06 cents for JASMY. Not really a big push, but maybe something like a 10% plus. And really, with that trade that I was just mentioning, that I was posting earlier on today in the Patreon, that could actually turn out to be great, because remember, we are amplifying our gains if we get the trade right. Of course, if we lose the trade, we are also amplifying our losses. Again, just to remind you, this is like with a small part of our JASMY portfolio. Why do we do that? We always want to be making cash without actually putting much more cash from the bank, right? So I think you got that concept really well there, very easy. Of course, you may not want to be involved with this Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Let's quickly just zoom in. We will go and zoom in a little bit here just to take a look at the microscopic view for JASMY in this 1 hourly time frame. And I think that you can see that the structure we have here of SUI on the right is almost the same thing that we are also seeing from JASMY here on the left. So one way or the other, we are basically saying JASMY is poised to push towards the upside once again, and I think that's really going to be something great towards the end of the week, and potentially that could actually give us a very good start for the next week. But of course, we are still expecting way bigger things to show up for JASMY. For instance, on this pattern, you can see this cup and handle formation, and indicating something like 80 cents for JASMY. I think that's something that is great, more like a 17x from, you know, the break of the neckline right there. But from where the price is sitting at this point, we are looking at something like a 40x. This is why I'm invested in JASMY, because this is like the most volatile market on planet Earth. I'm not here for a 10x. I'm here for something like a 40x, 30x, and things like that. And JASMY is looking like it has that opportunity. Of course, you may also remember that we are looking at JASMY versus the Velo price, which you can clearly see that we really have been following this structure ever since the bottom of the bear cycle, and even up to date, it's thanks to this Velo chart that actually was showing us what the JASMY price would eventually do. That's why we are still up on JASMY, even though the price has crashed something like 60-70% from its peak back then in March. Still, whatever the case, what we are seeing here with JASMY versus Velo is that once JASMY is still holding at least here, like the lowest, the worst case scenario, 1.5 cents, JASMY has got an opportunity to go ahead and rip through a bull cycle all the way to something like 54 cents. The way we came to this price target is basically using Fibonacci retracement tools from very top of the structure to the bottom here. You see that your 1.618 is around something like 54 cents. You do the same thing here for the Velo chart that we have been following time and again, and you are also seeing that at least 1.618 was the price that was being reached. So these are very good things for JASMY, of course, but immediate short term, we also have got like potential hazards that we can see coming out of the JASMY price. At number one, we are below the 50 daily moving average, and usually we happen to turn bearish in that case. So yeah, we are also seeing a potential head and shoulders pattern that could play out for JASMY. But as I said, I think that this level here at 1.5 cents has to hold. As long as it holds pretty well, there is nothing, you know, to worry about, because we could see JASMY just bounce out of it and really continue and push, just as I was showing you with the Velo price. So this is not a situation that I'm really worried about right at this point, because it just hasn't happened. We still have got some time. Obviously, the price has to go to the downside much more, which nobody is waiting to see. But then again, we have to stay honest to ourselves and say, you know what, when the support here at 1.5 cents is broken, that's bad news for JASMY. Right at this point, let me reiterate one more time, it hasn't happened just yet. So we are still very much in an okay zone, I would just say. Now, in the last video, I was showing you this JASMY chart versus the Bitcoin chart, and I was indicating that, you know what, we could see a flash crash here on the JASMY price, but that would actually mean that that will be the last shakeout that we see in the market before the price really starts pushing towards the upside. So if I may just draw some comparisons here, so you saw already the highlighted part, this arrow here, this arrow right there. Then you of course have got this extreme at the very bottom. Let's just do that nice and easy. You have got an extreme here, which you are also seeing here for BTC. Then we were looking for another extreme here for JASMY, but I also ended up realizing that yeah, different charts actually telling me two different things. On other Bitcoin charts, you don't see Bitcoin making a new low here, as in this chart that I'm showing you. Yeah, same price chart, same time frame, but different, you know, liquidation points basically. So it may be the case that JASMY doesn't need to pull all the way down to something like 1.5 cents, and we may actually be done at least here right around 1.7 cents. Then we can continue pushing again and recovering. So I just wanted to draw your attention to this, because I was saying that there is a possibility that we could be taking out this previous low here and heading to something like 1.5 cents. But again, I took a look at different charts, and they're presenting very much different information right there. So it really remains to be seen, but of course we'll be monitoring this situation very much closely. Let me just remind you real quick of the new user limited time event that our partners over there at BingX have provided for the crypto front community. Go ahead and participate in the events that they have there. This one is lasting like 20 days from now, but I think a lot of you have participated and have gotten results from it. $5,450 to be won, and of course on top of that 300 ton tokens. This one is one that I think is really very much interesting new concept. If you just basically deposit, you get some trial funds, and on top of that vouchers, which you can be using to offset your losses. Let's say you've got $100 voucher that you win from, you know, whatever amount that you have deposited in there, and it happens to be the case that you have a trade which you lost $100. You can use the voucher to offset your loss, and then basically at the end of the day you got zero losses. So I think it's a fantastic concept altogether. Also, feel free to visit cf2kit.com. This is where the toolkit that I prepared for you all summer is, just for you to be able to become an independent trader and a successful one for that matter. So check it out, cf2kit.com. All the links of this will be there in the description. So just remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, all right? But if you like the content, like the video, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.